Hey, this is Future Vosh here. We're not holding back on the big topics, boys. They might actually ban TikTok. And thank God, you know, you goddamn Zoomers, you kids with your hip and happening, zippity boppity. You can't do this bit anymore. House passes bill to force TikTok sale from Chinese owner or ban the app. It passed through the House in a landslide. Republican leaders fast-tracked the bill through the House with limited debate, and it passed on a lopsided vote of 352 to 65. Woo! I bet this is going to do wonders for the Democrats and the youth vote in the upcoming election. That's great. The action came despite TikTok's efforts to mobilize its 170 U.S. users against the measure and amid the Biden administration's push to persuade lawmakers that Chinese ownership of the platform poses grave national security risk to U.S., including the ability to meddle in elections. Is it possible that the Chinese Communist Party weighs its influence on TikTok in order to interfere with U.S. affairs? Yes. Is it possible the American government uses its influence to weigh on your life, to meddle with your affairs, electorally or otherwise? Infinitely more so, you know? Like people say, isn't China going to do something? I'm not going to lie. Right now, I trust, the American political body as a whole, to me, not doing much better than China. Honestly, swear to God, you know? Seems like we're pretty much headed down that road, at least with autocracy, but at least they build trains. You know, it's fascism with trains, or it's fascism without trains. You know, just, I don't know. Yeah, that's another excellent example, okay? The United States of America is actually becoming more like like China here, because China has banned American social media, us banning their social media. You know, if anything, it's time. Imagine having to deal with fascism without trains when you could have the trains. Insane. Anyway, Joe Biden has said that he is going to sign the bill into law. So the only question is, will it go through the Senate? And the answer to that is yes, probably. It probably will. It probably might actually, it's almost certainly going to make it through. In no time, in the span of like no time at all, kablamo, right through there, you know? Months and months and months of ongoing genocide in the Gaza Strip during which we sit in our hands. But this, banning TikTok, zoom, zoom. But Wednesday's vote was the first time a measure that could widely ban TikTok for consumers was approved by a full chamber of Congress. The app has been under threat since 2020, with lawmakers increasingly arguing that Beijing's relationship with TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, raises national security risks. In all seriousness, this is being done for two reasons, okay? One of them is that we want a Cold War with China because all the awful shit the American government does is a lot more justifiable if you've got a big bad to point to. Russia does not work as a big bad for us because A, the GOP likes Russia, and B, the Russian military can barely handle its tiny neighbor, you know? So not really a credible angle to take things, narratively speaking. And the second reason why, I imagine, to an extent, I don't know how much this is the case, but the fact that TikTok might be literally swimming with pro-Palestinian sentiment might influence this somewhat, you know? It's not like AIPAC hasn't done shady shit like that before, so it's probably, I'm guessing it's mostly a Cold War thing, but given the current state of affairs, you know, that might weigh in on it a little bit. And on the plus side, if you get rid of TikTok, you prevent the IDF from uploading evidence of their own war crimes. So, you know, kind of saving Israel from itself. Keep in mind, by the way, this isn't just banning TikTok. This is either TikTok gets sold by its owner, so it's no longer Chinese company owned, or it gets banned. So basically, you know, like either the United States government bans the app or a non-Chinese company buys it, you know? I don't know how long it would take to sell something this big. I mean, it's not like you couldn't just sell this at a market, you know? Elon Musk could buy it. Let's go! Elon! 2 for 2. Let's go. It's time. It's time. My man is running himself ragged off of just one. If he takes on a second social media company, he'll be dead of a ketamine overdose in 5 days flat, okay? Somebody just needs to challenge him, okay? He needs to be at like an interview and someone says, you know, I hear they're selling TikTok. You could afford that, couldn't you? I bet you'd make it real free speech over there. Clean up all those Chinese laws. And then it would be over, you know? It'd be like the ultimate, very Greek hero, you know, like a Greek tragedy. He's felled by his, you know, because the Greek hero is like a champion brought low by one fatal flaw. And in Elon's case, it's being retarded. That's actually how I think some no, it would be hubris actually, which is how many fables go, you know. He would name it Zigzag. Oh shit, he would. I'm ready for Zigzag. Are you guys ready? In all seriousness though, any claims that are made by people about this being like a national security risk are total bullshit. We all know, and we have known for a long time, that American companies and the American government spy on us and steal our data all the time. Sometimes it's legal, sometimes it's not. It doesn't matter. We can't do anything about it. There's no oversight. Like, Edward Snowden revealed all this information about Prism and the systems that they can use to steal people's data and information. Like, it doesn't matter. Just doesn't matter. And yeah, every month there's some gigantic data leak from a massive social media company anyway. So like, whatever, you know? Just like if you seriously think that you, Joe Bumpkin, 19 Idaho, like the Chinese Communist Party is stealing your data, you know, I just know. American companies steal your shit because they want to make money on speculating on, like, you know, they want to make their bets, they want to sell data. I do agree this is a bit overrated, but hypothetically, if China wants to invade Taiwan or is about to, I could see them making this a big issue. Like, in Taiwan, sure, but in the United States, there's no information that the CCP is going to get off TikTok that's going to compromise the national security efforts of... When a country wants to get top secret information from another country, they typically do this by way of something called spying. Like, not like massive aggregate data. You know, the real concern from TikTok would have been like, oh, what if the Chinese government is like influencing the algorithm to maliciously and subtly influence things so that only the stuff that they want you to see pops up. To which I ask you, what the f do you think the YouTube algorithm is? Like, how do you think any of this works? All of our algorithms are already designed and presided over by, like, shadowy groups of ultra wealthy and powerful, you know, oligarchs who decide what we should see because it benefits them financially or politically. Like, that's already the case. On the plus side, I don't like TikTok very much. Every time I go to TikTok and I see left-leaning content, I feel like it's kind of dumb. Maybe it's just because they're young people. I don't really know. It seems like stuff gets misrepresented a lot. I don't like short-form video, okay? I like long-form video. Let's ban short-form video. It should be illegal for any video to be less than 5 minutes, is what I'm saying. Ban streamers too. Whoa, I make long-form content. Whoa. Whoa. Come on. Leaked audio of ADL chief executive Jonathan Greenblatt freaking out because of global youth not buying Israel's propaganda anymore. They have a TikTok/Gen Z problem. I could have told you that. Is that like a quote that I could actually attribute? Or are you paraphrasing?
Major generational problem. All the polling I've seen, ADL's polling, ICC's polling, independent polling, suggests this is not a left-right gap, folks. The issue in the United States in support for Israel is not left and right. It is young and old. And the numbers of young people who think that Hamas's, massacre was justified is shockingly and terrifyingly high. And so we really have a TikTok problem, a Gen Z problem, that our community needs to put the same brains that gave us Taglit.
Is this, has this been confirmed? In leaked audio, ADL head. This is from 3 months ago. It's phone guy? It's phone guy! Okay, it seems this has been very widely acknowledged and reported on. Yeah, okay, alright. Why does it sound so I'm just, whatever. Anyway, I think that the Israel angle here might be part of it. Like, that's definitely a component. I doubt it's the main thing. It's probably just like the little extra push to get it through, you know? Just a little bit of lubricant on the idea of promoting, new Cold War with China. If I recall correctly, the reason why it got passed so quickly because TikTok accidentally f***ed itself by giving its users a specific pop-up to call the representatives using the user's location data to find who the representative is. TikTok gave everyone the kill coordinates. I see. It seems that you're in this cafe. Did you know that the closest politician is 119 feet that way? This guy is like the undersecretary of agriculture for this. Here's his photo. Yeah. Interestingly, despite initially being behind it, Trump actually opposes the bill, which means the GOP House voted in spite of Trump. Like overwhelmingly, the House GOP voted against what Trump said they should do. In an interview with CNBC, Mr. Trump said he still considered TikTok a national security threat, but that banning it would make young people go crazy. He added any action harming the platform would benefit Facebook, which he called an enemy of the people. Frankly, there are a lot of people on TikTok that love it, Mr. Trump said. There are a lot of young kids on TikTok who will go crazy without it. There's a lot of good and a lot of bad with TikTok, he added, but a thing I don't like is that without TikTok, you could make Facebook bigger, and I consider Facebook to be an enemy of the people, along with a lot of the media. Incredible. Truly spitting. Thank you. Barron asked him to try to save it. He had a meeting at Mar-a-Lago with a fellow billionaire who has a very significant investment in ByteDance. Was this during the same meeting that he met with Elon Musk, and Elon Musk said, oh no, never met the guy, no money? Yeah? Yeah, it might have well been that. We all know that Donald Trump is desperate for cash and pretty much well up for sale, but... No, this is a more recent one. That last one was like 5 days ago, but yeah, whatever. Didn't he just meet with Viktor Orban too? He's a former president. He meets with a lot of people. Yeah, pretty funny though. But after the bill sailed through a House committee last week, Mr. Trump lashed out on Truth Social, his social media platform, writing that if you get rid of TikTok, it'll double Facebook's business. He said he does not want Facebook doing better. Okay, he definitely got bought out for this. Oh, that's funny. On Monday, asked about suspicions that he had been paid off to change his view on TikTok after a meeting with a major TikTok investor, the billionaire Jeff Yass, Mr. Trump denied it. Mr. Trump reportedly praised Mr. Yass, a large donor to the Club for Growth, as fantastic, and the group recently had a rapprochement with him after a years-long freeze. Mr. Yass has funded a major advocacy drive in Washington to stop the banning of TikTok. He and his allies have recruited several former Trump administration officials to help with the effort, including Tony Sayeh, who was a Treasury official, and Kellyanne Conway, who is a senior counsel to the president. In the CNBC interview, Mr. Trump said he had not discussed TikTok with Mr. Yass at their meeting. No, I didn't, Mr. Trump said, saying that it had been a brief meeting with Mr. Yass and his wife. He never mentioned TikTok. Major stakeholder in TikTok has been going around promoting and funding support for not banning TikTok, including recruiting members of Trump's former administration, then has a meeting with the former president. Didn't talk about it. Is that true? I believe him. I believe Trump. Even if you don't, I believe him. It was just his birthday. He's a birthday boy. Yeah, you really think Donald Trump would do that? Go to an interviewer and lie? Come on. Come on. Come on. He's just a little guy. Edward Snowden is probably confused to shit right now. Yeah, how do you think it feels to be Edward Snowden and to ruin your own life for nothing? Like, you do the most dramatic goddamn leak. You you get all this information out there, and then you just get to like sit down in Russia and watch as nothing changes. That's great, man. Anyway, I'm going to try and think about this like a businessman, okay? Fewer people on TikTok means a revitalization of YouTube. Where do you think those Zoomers are going to go for their short-form content, huh? YouTube Shorts, all right? We're bringing them back. Let's go. It's time. Instagram Reels? Shit, they might go there, yeah. Well, some of them will come to YouTube. Hey, this is future Vosh here. Present Vosh for me. That's how time works. I'm a little embarrassed by this one because... when I did the segment on the TikTok ban, I had notes set aside where, like, at the end I was going to talk about another thing, which I'm about to talk about, but I forgot to. So I guess that was chat's fault. Chat distracted me. I'm never at fault. Blah blah. So I wanted to say, like, this is being referred to colloquially as a TikTok ban, but that's not what it's called. It's actually really difficult to find news agencies reporting on this, which is actually like really scary because it makes it seem like there is some kind of malice to their selective coverage. The bill is titled, in case you didn't know, Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act. And the text of the bill, while it does, it's clearly pointed at TikTok here. It prohibits the distribution, maintenance, or provision of internet hosting services for a foreign adversary-controlled application, though the president can give you an exemption if they want. See? So they're talking about ByteDance and TikTok here. That's ByteDance is the company that owns TikTok. But in effect, like potentially this means that like this would give the US government the ability to just flat out deny the ability for any kind of local hosting of any website or any social media company owned by what they would deem a foreign adversary. I hope you can understand how potentially dangerous that line of logic is. I mean, this is, it's funny we're talking about TikTok. This is literally what China did, walling their citizens off from the rest of the internet and creating their own internet effectively. Obviously, Chinese citizens constantly skip over the Great Wall or the firewall of China to ship post in our sites, and we love them for it. And Americans will be able to do that as well, presumably, if any ban goes through. It's pretty difficult to completely prevent that kind of stuff because individually targeting people's access, it's a broader process, right? But like, I think in the original segment, because this is 2 days out from that, I talk about how American politicians want to reignite a Cold War because a foreign adversary sort of like legitimizes a lot of the bad draconian stuff you have to deal with. The austerity of hard times is a lot more difficult to put up with when you feel like it's part of you, like, I don't know, winning over a great enemy. At least if you think that way, right? Like if you can be convinced of that. It's like race politics, like convince the lowest white man that he's better than the greatest black man, and you'll have him eating out of the palm of your hand, right? Like as long as you give people an enemy, they'll eat shit, basically. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty overtly authoritarian, I'm not a hardliner on this. I do think there are some ways to justify the idea of like, maybe there are certain applications that are just like really flagrantly ways of subverting the national security of another country. Like I didn't mind, for example, Ukraine banning Russia today when they were invaded. Like, like there are obviously lines on this, but this is not it. Like not even remotely. And all the stuff they accuse TikTok of doing, scraping people's data, being unreliable, electoral interference, all of this could be equally applied to American companies. They're just doing this to drill up international tension. It's disgusting. There are a bunch of potential explanations, but like genuinely, this is pretty scary stuff. If the ban goes through, as I understand it from the wording of the bill, it's 5 months until ByteDance, the parent company, would either have to sell TikTok, unlikely, it makes them a lot of money, or they just wouldn't be able to have their services hosted here in America anymore. You wouldn't be able to access it officially from America anymore, which seems more likely to me. The bill just blew right through the House. So right now it's in the Senate. I think it'll pass the Senate, but I don't know. It seems unlikely to me that you could get through the House with like a 300-point advantage in favor of yes, and then like you go to the Senate, it stalls forever there. Biden has said he will sign the bill into law. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Look, I'm not coming from this from like a self-interested perspective or whatever. I don't like TikTok. I don't like short-form videos, and I don't even really advertise myself on TikTok. This is like a purely detached sense. Like just it is deeply frightening, not only that the government would go about this in the way that it is and the potential explanations for why it's doing this, which I think I touched on in the original segment, but also the fact that news corporations are just not covering this. They're not. Normally, I feel like people are hyperbolic when they say that, but seriously, you can look up like TikTok ban, bill to ban TikTok, House bill TikTok, what, you can look that up. From what I've seen, a significant number of news articles just flatly describe this as a TikTok thing, as though the law just says TikTok will be banned and nothing else, which is just, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good. That's it. Anyway, I'm embarrassed that I forgot to put this in the original segment because like I had the note there. Nothing has changed between now and then with regards to this, but yeah, not good.